if you look at races in the wet, they're always brilliant. And I remember Peter Wright's original analysis for overtaking for the FIA decades ago, showing that one of the ways of getting more overtaking was to have much less tyre grip. And there are multiple reasons. The proof is in the wet racing. I mean, we have good racing in the wet and there's no grip. And the other thing is that if you've got sticky tyres, the difference in grip between online and offline, particularly by part way through the race, is massive. The racing line rubber's in, offline's covered in bits of rubber swarf, marbles, and overtaking's unlikely. The braking distances are very short, everything. Whereas, you know, look back at the wet races and they're great. Look back at the days when people used to do lots of overtaking. I remember Jim Clark won 2 Grand Prix using the same set of tyres. What I would recommend is the drivers all get a set of tyres for the race. And they do the race on that set.
You don't think we should have a pit stop?
No, there's no changing during the race, because as soon as you can change tyres, the people will find a way to run stickier ones. And at the end of the race, your tyres go in a parc fermé truck to the next Grand Prix to be used for practice for the next event. So we'll then have similar tyre life to the Jim Clark days. You know, you would use the same set of tyres for a full 2 days practice and a race effectively, but they would be new for the race. Now, they would not have a lot of grip, and you imagine if you had a set of tyres that were good enough to do the race before Monaco, they wouldn't have a lot of grip at Monaco. But we've had some good races at Monaco in the wet.
From Pirelli's point of view, would this involve a massive amount of development money producing a tyre that could last that long, or would it actually be a relatively cost-effective development
I think
program?
it'd be cost-effective overall. I couldn't speak for how long it would take them to develop the tyre, but I'm sure they have the technology to make tyres that last longer, because road tyres last longer. But imagine the saving over a year. Each driver would only use 1 set of tyres per race. That'd be 22 sets per driver per year. And how many are there now?
What do you think of Peter Wright's suggestion that if we brought skirts back in an efficient way and controlled cornering speeds with the profiles under the car, what do you think of that suggestion as a way of improving overtaking as well?
Well, I think that would work, because it could, but I can't see that there would be an attraction in having skirts rubbing against the track again. I think that was one of the things that people got most upset about.
In what respect?
Wearing out the track surface.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, you should see the state of the track after a Grand Prix on the sliding skirts with the ceramic rubbing strips.
What sort of deterioration was that?
Well, you'd take the whole of the tarmac off the top of the stones. You know, it was pretty. They were pretty abrasive. They were.
And if we were going to bring sliding skirts back in 2021, for example, what materials would you be using on the rubbing strips?
Well, you'd be using a ceramic, I'm sure. They lasted pretty well indefinitely, and they're not heavy, so you probably wouldn't reinvent them.
So the same problem would be there, or has technology of track surfaces improved?
No, I think the same problem would be there. The thing is, you'd probably be able to come up with better skirt suspension when you've got 700 people in the team rather than 60, but